So then I look at Edison around 2:30 because I'm like, yo, we need to go to bed. I'm like tired. I look at Edison and there's a look in his eyes, like it's a far away look, but he's not there anymore. Like he ain't there. And I was like, hey, Edison. And then he's like, yeah. And I was like, you want to go? And then he's just like, yeah, let's go. And I'm like, why are you so slow to respond to everything? And he was just like, you know. And I was like, Edison, are you gonna puke tonight? And then he's like, no, like I don't puke, I'm good. And so I was like, okay. And he's like, I definitely won't. I mean, fine. So we get a group of people to get out of the club. I forgot who, but like Kuno, Abe, Wendy, I don't even remember who was with us.
Scara.
Lily, Michael, I don't even remember. But there's a group of us who decide to go out at 2:30. Just getting from that club to the front lobby, we lost half the group. I don't know what, but people are just sitting down in the middle. They're walking and they're just like, nope. And I'm like, hey, get up. And then people aren't getting up. They're just sitting down. So I was like, okay, fine. So half the group starts moving. I'm like, you guys get home yourself. So I'm on a mission to get home. And I'm like, go. So we lose half the group. And then the lobby is the next obstacle, trying to figure out whether we want to walk or drive. No one wants to walk, but I'm like, we got to walk, guys. We got to walk. It's just across the street. We got to go. They're like, no, I don't want to walk. It's not just him being a baby. There's a bunch of people who are like sitting every opportunity they could. And I was like, please, let's go home. And everyone's just like not doing anything. They're just like sitting. I'm like, can we go? And they're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, so let's go. And they're like, yeah, I'm ready. So, and then they like blame one other person who's like sitting down on the ground. Like, I'm ready when they're ready. And then that person's like, I'm ready. I'm like, what? No one's moving. And Edison is like, you're one of them, by the way. You're just sitting in there's like a tiny little divot that's about like this wide, like a counter. He's like, he finds a chair. Right. Finding chairs everywhere. They don't exist. He's just leaning. And I'm like, so I grab his arm, go. I was so annoyed. So we go back, and I don't even know I think Yvonne and Sean. That ends up just being our room that goes back. And Edison is just like walking in every angle except straight. And he's like, I'm fine. I'm like, please, Edison, please. And he will not stand straight. We finally get up to the room, and then
yes, then I am I'm not having a good time near the the bathroom area.
Don't talk as if you remember anything.
I'm just saying, I'm not having a good time, and people are in our room ordering room service.
Yeah, so us four go back, okay? Sean is also, by the way, smashed. His face is beat red, and he's like, dude, it feels like someone beat me my face up, like just like slammed their fist across my face. Oh my god, I have such a bad headache. He's like chugging Pedialyte. Edison's in the bathroom, not throwing up yet. And then at that point, people are like, hey, where did everyone go? And we're like, hey, come to our room. So we give them our room, and people start like coming in. Wendy, Abe, Broden,
Scara in our room?
Scara came first. Actually, Scara was with us. He made it back in the first wave. But then Michael, Lily. So they also start to trickle in. But this is like now Edison's in the bathroom, and he is like fighting throwing up so badly. But I know, when someone's gonna throw up, he was doing like and I'm like, Edison, you will not puke on the floor. And he's like, I'm not gonna puke. And he's like, I'm not gonna throw up. And I'm like, yuck! And I was like, he would not listen to me. He's heavy. He won't listen to me until my voice like starts hitting panic levels. And I'm like, Edison, please, Edison, please don't do it. And then I got almost fucking cried. And he's like, fine. He's being so sassy. He's like, fine. And then he like leaned towards the toilet, and I'm like, you promise if you throw up in the toilet? And you're like, yeah, but I'm not gonna throw up. Like, gosh, you were so offended that I would even suggest the idea of you throwing up. I don't know why. We just got into so many mini fights.
Listen, I was not in the right state of mind. I'm just gonna put it that way.
My patience is being tested. I was
so
like, yeah.
Anyways,
no.
So
I deal with you for 7 hours. So then he finally, I know it's coming, so I leave because I am puke phobia. I turn around, I leave at the door, and he goes, you hear the okay, he threw up. I go in, I see it, I'm like, ugh, nasty. I flush the toilet, and I'm like, babe, I just flushed your puke. And you're like, you're like, fuck you. I'm like, excuse me, what? And then you're like, I didn't puke. And I'm like, then what did I just throw up? What did I just flush? Right? And he's like, I didn't throw up. And I'm like, I just, you can hear the toilet flushing. What did I flush then? And then you're like, you must have seen something else. He literally thinks I'm gaslighting him. And as the puke is being flushed, he doesn't even remember it. And he's like, what is wrong with you? Like, he's angry at me for suggesting that idea. Oh, so tilted. So we were getting to mini fights. And then he'd be like, sorry, babe. And I'm like, what? You're like, sorry about my tone. Like, that was wrong of me. And I'm like, it's okay, babe. You're messed up. And you're like, no, babe, it's not okay. It's not okay. Because that was a really aggressive tone. And like, I'm sorry.
Hey, see, I'm reasonable even when I'm drunk.
It was nice.
I'm reasonable even when I'm drunk, okay?
It was sweet, but it took you a while. You were giving me so much sass. And the worst part, okay, because, friends are coming in, and then in this time, like, all this while is happening, like, Broden popping, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, Edison. And they're like, oh, it's cool. Abe, hey, Edison. So I was like, go socialize with people, and they're ordering food and whatnot. So I'd leave the room, and within, like, every time I leave the room to go, like, sit on the bed and talk, I'm like, I'd hear something, and I go back in. Edison, like, pushing over a water bottle, knocking over something. And I'm
what?
Like, yes, you pushed over, like, I kept giving you water. Luckily, I capped it every time. I was like, this is water. And you're like, yeah. Okay.
What am I, a cat? Am I a cat that likes pushing things off?
I give you water. Okay. I give you water. Okay, drink this to me. No,
wait, is this good?
Yeah, it's fine. Pretend like. That's how much you drink. It touch your tongue and you go. You're like, yeah. I'm like, Edison, you need to drink. You need to drink water. You got to throw up more. You just make you feel better. And you're like, yeah, it's fine though. So you would just be like pushing me away every opportunity. You were so annoyed at me. But I'm trying to help you. Okay. And then, so he knock stuff over. Boom, boom, boom. I go back into the bathroom and he's like pacing. He could not sit still. And anytime I'm like, hey, where are you going? You're like, I'm just trying to chill. That was always your answer. I'm trying to chill. And I'm like, okay. So then you chill against the bathroom corner. You'd stand in a corner and just sit there. And then you couldn't chill there. And then you'd sit on the bathtub and you're like, couldn't chill there. And then he makes a bolt for the door, the exit, the front door of the hotel. He opens the door and I'm like, where are you going now? And he's like, I'm trying to chill. So then you sit and you lean your head and bang your head on the neighbor's door, like the hotel, the neighboring door. You lean your head and go.
Wait, why are you telling a lot of these details on stream that you didn't even tell me in person?
Wait, you didn't know that?
No, and then knocking a water bottle thing, you didn't tell me any of this.
I did tell you all of this.
No, you didn't. This is the first time I'm hearing it.
I told you all of this. You didn't knock the water on the ground. The bottle got knocked over. Like, it's capped. I just hear the thump. I told you all this. Trust me.
No, I would remember if you told me.
You reacted to it when I told you as well.
This is the first time I'm hearing it.
Okay,
one of us is gaslighting the other one right now.
I promise you, I told you all the details.
Okay.
And then you were leaning against the neighbor's door, and remember this? I told you this too.
You told me this too?
Michael, remember what? Michael walks in at this point. You're leaning against the neighbor's door. I told you Michael came in.
You did tell me that Michael came in.
Yes, yeah. And then Michael walks in and he's like, is he good? Do you want me to get people to leave? And I was like, Michael, that's really sweet. Yeah, can you actually ask people to go? Because I didn't know if Edison wanted to be like chill outside the hotel or in the room, right? So I was like, he should chill in the room instead of outside, but he probably doesn't want to be this drunk in front of everybody. So then Michael's like, yeah, let me get people to leave. I was like, thank you, Michael. And then Edison goes, who was that? And I was like, that's Michael. And you're like, oh. you were so angry. Like, who was that? Like, I don't even know. So that was Michael. Michael gets everyone to go. And then the food is all there, right? I'm letting Edison chill for a bit. He's like in the bathroom, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going to go hang out with everyone. I go outside and they're like, hey, Leslie, you want food? Like, this is great. The smoothies or this. I'm like, wait, that's so awesome. And then I was like, oh my God, I have no appetite because I like, when you throw up, you're like, I have no appetite anymore. And they're like, okay. And then Broden, I go back to take care of Edison. Broden knocks on the door on the way out. He's like, Bill. I'm like, what? He's like, it's under your name because you booked the hotel. Can you sign? And I was like, oh, yeah, of course, the bill. I got it. So I paid for the bill of the room service. I didn't even eat a bite of. And then everyone leaves and it's 5:30. And then from there, it was just taking care of Edison for the rest of the night. Luckily, he threw up a bunch. got it all out. We go to bed. The next morning, I'm like, Edison. He wakes up, and then I'm like, Edison, you threw up so much last night. And instantly he goes, stop gaslighting me.
I didn't slap you.
Yeah, you were like, stop gaslighting me. And I'm like, what? And then me and Vaughn and Sean are like, I'm sorry, what? And he thought we made it all up. He thought we were trolling him because he's like, I don't remember anything. And I was like, he didn't remember anything. So all of that I had to suffer. It's in my memories. No one else was there to witness it. So he doesn't remember anything. So that was that. But
thanks for dealing with me.
oh, it's okay, babe. Because, you know, it happens to everybody. Not everybody, but it happened to you. But the funny thing is just he really thought I made up the whole thing, and instantly his reaction, because he never pukes. Like, as long as I've known Edison, I don't think I've ever.
The only other time this has ever happened to me was the night I went to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only other time in my life something like this ever happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
So that was it. And then actually a lot of people don't know the jail story.
Oh, wow. That's really awkward if you guys don't know the jail
Yeah,
story.
so
Now I
we're
just
not
sound like a criminal or something.
It's not that bad.
Okay, TLDR.
No.
Oh, God. I have to say something now. Otherwise, I just sound like I'm crazy.
Yeah, we can refer them to the VOD. There's a VOD.
Okay, yeah, there's a VOD about it. Don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah, you can
I'm
find
fine, and all the charges got dropped and everything. It's a big misunderstanding. But, yeah, TLDR, I went to jail. All right, moving on.
I went to jail. Yeah, so